Hey everyone, if you want to make your own podcast but you don't know where to begin, Spotify for Podcasters makes it super easy. They've got everything in one place, it's totally free, and you can make money while doing it. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start doing it today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and pretty much everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also supported, and you can even conduct polls and Q&As. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, the platform is totally free. No catch, totally free. When I wanted to start my own podcast, I did not know where to begin, and I didn't think it was even possible. And Spotify for Podcasters made it happen. They made it easy, they made it quick, and I am doing something that I love. What more can I ask for? So if you're interested in starting your own show, you can do it, and I highly recommend you give this a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Everything Kratom, the podcast about anything and everything Kratom. Thanks for joining us here. It's nice and sunny in the Northeast, so it's nice to wake up to. Had a rough time sleeping last night because my baby kept me up. She was having a little bit of trouble last night. So rest assured, I'm okay though, because I took some Indo White about 2 minutes ago, and it is already kicking in, so I'm ready to kick it with you today. Feeling good. So today we're going to go over a few green varieties that I've tried and like. Before we do that, something interesting that I found out about green varieties of Kratom, specifically the first one I want to talk about, Green Malay, is that, and I checked this on sites before this morning, just to make sure that I wasn't spewing BS here, but it seems like it's true. I had heard that certain green varieties have thicker cell walls, and that if you take smaller amounts of these green varieties along with whatever type of Kratom you were planning to take, it'll make the effects last longer because it takes longer to break down. And I have tried this, and in my own experience, it's worked out that way. It's been true. And that kind of is a good segue into Green Malay. So Green Malay, I really like. I find that it lasts a long time. I think that it's because of this cell wall thing that I learned about. But regardless, it's a really nice strain for me, or a nice variety. It's smooth. It lifts my mood up right away. It's interesting. It almost acts like a white for me, but not that intense. Not really that intense. It's just kind of like a mellow backdrop to the day. It is an extreme help for my mood. If I wake up feeling crabby or I'm not doing so well, it's one of those things where it's like I take it, a few minutes later, I'm a completely different person. It's also one of those ones that kind of operates in the background for me. So certainly worth taking a look at if you're looking for a mellow background green. Mind you, I'm taking a small amount. So and of course it affects everyone differently. Should always mention that. But with Green Malay, I'm only taking a gram, maybe a gram and a half. I think I've only done 2 grams once with it. It really just didn't need that much. So it's an excellent variety of Kratom that I like to take alongside others as well. And it does seem to make the effects last longer. I've taken Green Malay with some of my favorite whites, like White Indo, which I took this morning. And it's probably increased the duration of the effects of Indo White for me by maybe 2 hours, which is significant. So certainly worth checking out as a combo as well. Okay, let's move on. What else we got? Green Bali. green Bali was the first one I ever tried, I think, from what I could tell. As I said in my first episode, I didn't know at the time what it was. Don't go about doing that. It's not best practice. Anyway, I didn't really know what it was, but looking back on it, I knew that it was Bali. Pretty certain that it's green, looking at the site that the person got it from. So green Bali is just, I don't know, it was like my basic beginning Kratom, so I always think back to it when I first think of like, Kratom. It made me, I didn't feel it the first time until I laid down to go to bed and realized that I was super relaxed. It was very relaxing for me. Again, one of those ones that worked on in the background for me. It's not in my face. I have had a little bit of a negative effect with this one if I take too much. That can happen with any variety of Kratom, but with Bali in particular, I find that I get the shakes a lot if I take too much, more than a few grams. Also, my vision gets shaky. Some people say that's the shakes. I mean, I get jittery, and then also my vision can get shaky. Things get blurry, feel like I need, different prescription glasses. So that's the one negative that I've had with it. But other than that, it's just been a good go-to green, as long as I'm taking small amounts. Something else that's interesting about this one is that my cousin, who's on the spectrum, when they were first kind of like when they were first displaying signs that they were on the spectrum and they were having some issues with mood, my aunt and uncle were looking for different alternative ways of helping my cousin, and I thought maybe they'd be interested in learning about Kratom. I told them about a few greens, and they tried it. They tried Bali, they tried green Malay, and they said that it was actually fairly helpful, as my cousin was kind of figuring out what was going on with himself, and they were having a bit of trouble with mood and a bit confused. And but what we found was that when my cousin had some green Malay or green Bali in the morning, that the day went better for them, which I just find really interesting. I would love to talk with some experts about people on the spectrum, and also I'd like to talk with people on the spectrum who use Kratom, or have had experiences with Kratom. That would be a really interesting episode. Take note, guys. That's a good idea. So that's an interesting thought. Last one I wanted to bring up was green Mangda. Green Mangda, it's one of those ones that's really well known. Here's the thing that I'm kind of unclear about. Please, smash me, correct me, whatever you got to do. Verbally abuse me, but tell me if I'm wrong. But I've read before that it's actually a blend, that green Mangda is actually green and white. Don't know if that's true or not. Would love to hear some input. But anyhow, I've had green Mangda before. I've also had green and red mixed, which, if what I said was true, that green Mangda is a mix of green and white, then that's a green, white, and red trifecta there. So that's super interesting. But anyway, green Mangda I've found to be probably the most potent type of green that I've tried. I've also found it to be really strong in the energy department for me. Maybe the white has something to do with that. And I've found that it's a good one for an all-day thing. Like, it lasts a while for me. I'll take 2 grams or 2.5, and if I take that around 10 a.m., I'll be going till 3, 4. So it's an all-day thing for me. Usually don't need to take any more midday. But I don't, I haven't had it in a while. That's another thing. It'd be interesting to see, do these affect me, or do these affect people differently? The exact same types, but, separated by a few months or few years apart. So, yeah. But green, I have to admit, is the one that I'm least familiar with. I've only had so many greens, and need to explore those further. I just feel like they're the in-between, like if I'm trying to calm down, I go for red. If I'm trying to speed up, I go for white. Is there like a time where I'm trying to do neither and both at the same time? I don't know. But anyway, I really like the green mallet. I think that I found that one is probably my favorite of the three. So there you have it. There's some greens. Also, on a completely separate note, does anybody know what's going on with the proposed international scheduling of Kratom right now? I know that the American Kratom Association has been doing a lot of work gathering people's comments. I know that it was because of them that they had to extend the comment deadline. What's happened since then? I need to get an update from y'all. Anyway, that's going to be interesting to see what happens. Let's all just hope. Let's just hope. But anyway, let's follow up with that one. Okay, you guys, this is going to be a bit of a shorter one today. But I will talk to you all tomorrow. And tomorrow, going along the lines of the whole proposed international scheduling of Kratom, I'm going to be looking at this post that someone did on Reddit where they analyzed 200 comments. And they were looking at, who's commenting on this. What's the reasoning? Are they commenting for themselves or others? Are they commenting based on, how Kratom's helped them with drugs, or has it been a positive or a negative experience? The statistics are really interesting, you guys. So be sure to check that out tomorrow. And I'm going to try and get permission from them so that I can share their Reddit profile name. But if I can't get in contact with them in time, I will have them remain anonymous because I want to respect them. But that's going to be really interesting. Okay, have a great day, everybody, and talk to you tomorrow.